Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Wiseman. Today we are talking about, are you overly dependent on astrology? Learn how to avoid constant affirmation from horoscopes and forecasts. Now, I'm a huge astrology fan. I love astrology. I read forecasts, I read horoscopes. There's a lot of tremendously good astrologies out there that are, pretty well known. And there's also like a ton of really amazing astrologers out there who aren't that known. So a lot of people really have cracked the code on how to look at where the planets are and figure out what that means for all of us. I also think if you haven't done your like the most basic things, your sun, your moon, your rising, this sort of trifecta of your core personality, that's going to really help you figure it out. And like you can get free charts lots of places. You can just Google free natal chart, and there's a really good one at Cafe Astrology, might be one place. Lots of other places. So if you don't like that one, look at another one. But so getting the basic information, and especially getting from a really gifted astrologer, you get your chart done and have them talk you through it. And most of them will be able to tell you like, oh yeah, when you were 4, this happened, and this is how your relationship with this parent is, and here's your other parent, and it's likely that you have gifts here, and here's why your first relationship didn't work, or here's why you had that illness then, or here's why you moved. Like they can go through all of your life and show you these are what the influences were. So that's all super useful. It's fantastic. It's kind of like that map we've been talking about. The universe doesn't show perfectly all the time. So astrology is one way to sort of see where things are going. I also love astrology because of the way it helps us understand the planetary position and the global influences during a big chunk of time. Like, what's the next 10 years about? What's the next 50 years? What's the next 200 years about? Who's affected? You can do a country's astrology, for example, or a document's astrology. You can do all those things and sort of look at the chart from when its birth or its creation. So that's all super useful, especially like right now we're in these transit age of Aquarius where we haven't been in this place for 248 years. And so when we look back, what happened 248 years ago? Oh, Declaration of Independence was signed. Oh, this revolution, that, or when we look back to the passage before that, oh, it was similar, this upheaval towards independence and the dropping of old ways. So that's all amazing. But there's also a lot of astrology out there that's just, done as part of social media to get likes and follows and sell stuff. And that probably in many cases is not particularly researched. If you go to these sites where, it's just all ads in it, and then you go to the next site like that and you realize it's the same information as you heard from the other site, and then you just sort of start looking around going, gosh, I don't really know. The other thing, if you go to like more reputable sites and you start reading information for one sign and you're like, yeah, that's exactly it for me. And then you go to your friend's sign and you start reading and it's like, yeah, that's it for me too. But it's actually your friend's sign. So this sort of use of like double speak or such not bland, but such non-specific information that it could kind of be for anybody. So once again, you want to use things like, I think it would be very useful to get, if you were in relationship with someone, to get your chart and their chart and do a chart together, that would be super useful. That would help you understand the likelihood of success or non-success. That would be great. What would be less great is to read the horoscope that you signed up for coming through in your inbox every day, because it probably means nothing. Probably means absolutely nothing. I'm an Aquarius, for example. Doesn't mean the Aquarius horoscope every day is going to fit me, because I, like you, have many, many other strong influences. And so this idea that all the Aquarians in the world are having the same experience on this day, it's not true. We all have so many influences going around. So it's kind of the same message. It's like following your personal spiritual guidance, the kind of guidance that you receive in meditation, working in third eye visioning, working in receiving messages, noticing and paying attention to the synchronicities, noticing and paying attention to your dreams, feeling what you feel and know in the wisdom of your body, and paying attention to all of this as your own ability to find your truth and to direct yourself in your life, as opposed to reading the thing that comes in on your phone every day, and like, maybe it's good and maybe it's not, but taking it with more than a grain of salt, checking it with your own information that you receive on your own, with your own practice. It all comes down to not being gullible to all of the commercial and the promoted and the trendy stuff that's out there. It all comes down to deciding that you're going to really do the process, because you can, deciding that you're going to really learn how to get your own information and then following that. And honestly, not everybody's going to do that. Most people aren't. They're just going to be like, oh, my horoscope, blah, blah, blah. And it is fun. It's kind of has a magical feeling, but in terms of being useful, a lot of it isn't going to be useful. Again, going back, like, yes, astrology is real. Yes, people are great at it. Find them, work with them, but sparingly on anything that just, all the fun things like fashion for the zodiac signs, or the best eyeglasses for each person of the zodiac, or what your music playlist should be. Those are fun. They're great. They're fun, but they're not true. They're not the thing. So just paying attention to that and kind of taking responsibility for receiving, taking responsibility for learning how to receive your own information that's going to make a lot more sense to you. Thanks for listening. I'm Sarah Wiseman, and you'll find me at sarawiseman.com.